Story 1. The Party That Never Ended. A group of college friends decided to throw a massive party at their shared rental home in a remote part of town. As the night wore on, the atmosphere became electric with laughter, alcohol, and loud music. A blackout enveloped the house in darkness, instantly transforming the festive environment into confusion. Some guests lit candles, while others fumbled for their phones to provide light. As the group stumbled around trying to restore the vibe, a few people reported that they heard something strange outside. Low, guttural growl or whisper that sent shivers down their spines. Just past midnight, the house was packed, and everyone seemed to be having a great time. Suddenly, the power went out. As they made their way to the top floor, a massive storm rolled in, followed by a low groan that echoed through the building. In a panic, they raced toward the stairs, but as they turned the corner, one of their friends, Ashley, froze in horror. They found her at the end of a long, dark hall, sitting silently against the wall. Her eyes were vacant, as though whatever presence had haunted the asylum had taken hold of her. After days of searching, Ashley never returned to her former self, and their group ultimately scattered. Adrenaline surged through her as she listened intently for any sign of an intruder. She could feel her heart pounding in her chest. Just then, she heard a faint whisper coming from the shadows. "Elizabeth." Mustering her courage, she crept toward the noise with her flashlight, illuminating the darkened space, hoping to find nothing but scattered cookware. But she couldn't pinpoint it. Glancing around, she felt the weight of eyes on her. A tall figure, shrouded in shadows, stood behind her, inches away. They found nothing but the overturned cabinet and her shattered sense of safety. The darkness had concealed a predator, and the fear of the unknown would haunt her long after the lights returned. The intruder was never found, and Elizabeth couldn't shake the feeling that he was still watching her, waiting for the next blackout to strike. She screamed and flung the door open, escaping into the night. Then, her phone's screen lit up. A message popped through. "I'm inside." Unable to cope with the horror that night had unveiled, standing directly in front of her was a shadowy figure, a faceless man with outstretched arms, causing an abrupt blackout to spread through the entire building. Ready to flee, when she heard the whispered voice again, but now closer. "Help me," it said, resonating with a haunting despair. She bolted for the front door, panic guiding her movements. The sudden loss of power plunged her house into darkness. Initially, she felt uneasy, but quickly switched on her phone's flashlight and settled on the couch, hoping the power would return soon. All lights failed, plunging them into unnatural darkness. Ignoring the unsettling noises, they attributed them to the darkness. They huddled together to decide their next move, when they heard heavy footsteps approaching from down the hall. Heart rate skyrocketing, the group exchanged nervous glances, recalling the urban legends of patients who had never left the asylum. Leading the group downstairs. When they finally reached the exit, they burst through the doors into the night, their hearts racing with terror. Outside, they turned to catch their breath, but Ashley was not with them. They called for her, but there was no answer, figuring it was their imaginations running wild. After a few minutes, some of the bolder friends ventured outside to investigate. As they left, screams erupted from the party. After gaining entry, they set up flashlights and cameras to document their exploration. The building was crumbling, with broken windows and peeling paint. The atmosphere was thick with dread. Once they regained light, the mood shifted from frantic urgency to horror as they discovered that Laura had not just been lost in the woods. Found on the living room floor, her face was pale, her eyes wide open in terror. She wasn't missing. She was dead, a victim of something that none of them could explain. The authorities never identified how she died, and the blackout remained a haunting mystery in their lives forever. When they rushed back, they found that one of their friends, Laura, was missing. Panic set in, and a frantic search ensued both inside and outside the house. In the chaos of searching during the power outage, they heard the same horrifying whispers. They only became stronger and more persistent. After several hours and no sign of Laura, the power returned. Story 2. The Abandoned Asylum. In the summer of 2017, a group of urban explorers decided to investigate an abandoned asylum that had a reputation for being haunted. While exploring, they heard the sounds of footsteps echoing in the hallways. Thinking it was rearranged debris falling or the wind, they continued their adventure, and faintly illuminated by their cell phone flashlights. But as they pressed close together, the footsteps drew nearer, screaming. She broke out of her trance and ran. It wasn't until the storm cleared that they managed to make their way back inside, retracing their steps in frantic search of their friend. Story 3. The intruder Elizabeth was home alone one evening, when her neighborhood experienced an unexpected blackout. A few minutes later, she heard a loud crash from the kitchen. To her relief, she saw that a cabinet had fallen, causing the noise. She froze in place, her breath caught in her throat. Whoever was there knew her name. The voice sounded eerily familiar. She turned quickly, heart racing as she reached for the handle. She noticed something in the reflection of the glass door. Later, when the police were called, they searched the house. These true blackout horror stories serve as a chilling reminder of the terrifying possibilities that lie hidden in darkness,